Greetings, friendos, and welcome back for another in the extremely limited 13 vids of Oktoberfest. So, for today's video, if it wasn't already evidenced by the title down below, we're going to be taking a look at the classics. Yes, the horror cereals, the monster cereals from General Mills. So, normally I would have broken this up into several videos, but I've got a special plan for the end of this one. Stay tuned. So then, to kick things off, I'm not sure exactly which one to start with, so I think I'm just going to go in order of the commercials. You know, how they talk about the monster cereals, with Frankenberry, Blueberry, and Count Chocula cereal. So in that order, we're gonna start off with old Frankenberry and his marshmallow sweeties. So, as a special thing for the 50th anniversary of the Monster cereals, they've given us these cool retro packages in which the cereal is contained. Personally, I really dig the aesthetic. So, we've got old Frankenberry looking the way he did, I would say probably in the 70s, because I'll be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not entirely sure when they first started putting out Frankenberry cereal, but I know that it was at a simpler time, when this sort of thing was far more prevalent. So, as I was saying, I really like the aesthetic of old Frankie here. He's got his head that's shaped almost like a strawberry, and he's got all those things sticking out of his head, making him look very steampunk, including what appears to be a volume control sticking out of the side of his head where an ear should be. Next, we look at the side of the box, where we have pictured each and every single piece of cereal that's going to be in this, including what looks suspiciously like the Ectoplasm Blobs from the Ghostbusters Afterlife cereal, just chilling with those ghosts and bats. And of course we have Frankie looking so proud as he views his cereal raining down upon him in giant meteoric fashion. On the back of the box we have the monsters have a new mash. Double check that I read that correctly. Yes. Meet the strawberry giant behind the electrifying music. Slapping away at the electric bass, this gentle giant is the spark that really brings the new Monster Mash to life. When it comes to touring, his only request is making sure his dressing room is twice the size of Count Chocula's. Because, of course, you are twice the size of Count Chocula, after all. And then we have down here a more modern touch. Scan to hear the Monster Mash and go behind the music. Or we could just go to monstermashcereal.com and get that way. And at the bottom on the back, we have some dance moves that you can learn from old Frankie here. You can stick out your arms straight in front of you, stomp your right and then your left foot, and shake like you got a shock. And in case you think I'm fudging the truth on that, the truth is in front of you. So, just for the sake of it, we're going to do the dance. At least as best a version of that dance as I can do from my chair. So, arms straight out in front, stomp your right foot, then your left, and then shake like you got a shock. Right, left, and shake like you got a shock. I've got to say, it's actually rather fun. I may do this at the next Halloween party I attend, whenever that may be. Alright, so next we move on to the boring portion. For those calorie conscious, like myself and my counterpart, my alter ego, Oxleymations. Let's see, according to the nutrition facts, there are about 11 servings per container, and each serving is about 1 1/3 cups, or 41 grams of cereal. the calories for Frankenberry, the only reason why I define it that way is because they actually went out of their way to write right there, Frankenberry, right above the 160. And then of course, as I just showed you by putting the box right in front of your peepers, with a half cup of skim milk, it's 200 calories, but with whole milk, who knows? One of these days, I or Oxleymations are going to have to go in and actually look to see what the calorie difference is. And now, with all of that out of the way, oh, and the bottom of the box looks like this, and the top of the box looks like that. But anyway, with all that out of the way, I haven't even given my review. So for my review of the box, I'm going to give this a 9 for the nostalgia factor, for just how well they were able to recreate the original box while also including the new material, and just that fun little dance step on the bottom. So yes, Frankenberry with his marshmallow sweeties gets a 9 out of 10. For the box, that is. Now let's crack open the box. And get a look at the contents. Time to open the bag. Ooh, this one opened up a lot easier than that Cap'n Crunch cereal, I tell you that much. Alright, time for that first whiff. Okay, now that smells like strawberries. I don't know if I just got a good box, but that is a smell that I like. Alright, so now we pour the cereal into the bowl, as we do. Not going with a whole bunch because, well, in this video we're going to be doing all 3 of the monster cereals, so I'm going to need to save room. On that note, time to roll down the bag. And again, unlike the annoying gag that my alter ego uses, we're not going to sit here for like a minute rolling and crinkling that paper. It's not even paper, it's plastic. Alright, so before we actually add the milk, which I was about to do, jumping ahead of myself, we're going to actually take a taste of this cereal. Now, I'll be honest with you all, I am a little bit biased because my counterpart has had this particular cereal, along with the other 2, basically every year, since he has had a little extra financial sustainability, and has been able to buy the stuff himself at the store. So, we start off with the cereal pieces. Retains that same lovely strawberry flavor that it's always had. And then we get these little purple bats, which probably look white in my lighting, which also tastes of strawberry. Now let's try, I assume this is supposed to be a ghost, but it looks nothing like a ghost. How's that taste? Also like strawberry. And now for the Ghostbusters Afterlife Ectoplasm Blob. Okay, that one surprised me. That almost tasted like blueberry. And of course, old Frankie's head, or if you turn it upside down, Patrick's star. Yep, that also tastes like strawberry. Okay, the cereal by itself without milk, so far that's pretty good. But now we must add the cow juice. I just love laughing like that. Okay, so now let's get our first bite. Make sure we get some marshmallows in there so that you all can see. And that is some good cereal. It's got a nice robust strawberry flavor. It's got a good crunch to it. On the whole, that is going to be a good bowl of cereal. I just realized I never... Wait, did it? Yes, I did. I gave a 9 for the box. Sorry, there's a little hair floating right here in midair, and it caught me by surprise. Hopefully that did not go into the bowl. Anyways, for the cereal itself, I would have to say I'm going to give that a 7. A nice solid 7. Nothing too major, but it is the standard monster cereal that it has been for decades. A generation or two, perhaps. But then again, also from what I've heard, apparently these cereals don't taste the way they did way back when they were first introduced, but I wasn't there, so I can't say. Alright. Now, normally, this would be the point in the video where I go, this was the number for the cereal, this was the number for the box, and kapow! But no. Since we're going to be reviewing all 3 of the cereals, I'm going to save those cereal numbers, those reviews, for the end. Now then, we're going to put Frankenberry over here, and we're going to get ready for the next cereal on the table. Blueberry. Alright, here we are again. Stated just a moment ago, we are now going to be taking a look at the Blueberry 50th Anniversary Monster Mash cereal, with that retro packaging depicting old Blueberry in his old form. So for the aesthetics on the front of the box, I have to say that I do really enjoy that look. And of course, like his Frankenberry counterpart, they have the advertising for this being the 50th anniversary of the monster cereals. And of course, just like Frankenberry, they also happen to have the images of the marshmallows surrounding the 50th anniversary logo. On the side here, we have good old Blueberry, looking kind of depressed, actually, as the marshmallows and cereal bits float down to land upon him in, as stated previously, meteoric fashion. And of course, on the back of the box, we have the monsters have a new mash, which I believe is exactly the same, almost exactly the same as the Frankenberry one. Yes. Okay. So, let's take a look and break down the back of the box. Meet the ghost with the most. Blueberry is the backbone of the band, which is pretty remarkable for someone without a skeleton. When he is not busy keeping Frankenberry and Count Chocula from fighting over whose songs and whose cereals are the best, he's laying down a wicked electric guitar solo in the new Monster Mash. I'm sorry, it has been far too long since I've done the voice of Blueberry, so my apologies if that wasn't quite up to snuff. So apparently, we have old Frankenberry who plays the bass, and Blueberry who plays the electric guitar. Now then, and of course, just like on Frankenberry, we have a QR code that one can scan to listen to the modern Monster Mash, or they can just go to the website monstermashcereal.com. Now, at the bottom, we have another version of the Show Your Fancy Footwork. With this one, you wave your ghost arms in the air, and then you swivel your hips, which is an impressive thing for a ghost to do, considering they don't have legs. And then you stop and go, boo! Let's give that one a try, shall we? The Frankenberry one was actually quite entertaining, so let's see if Blueberry has the same level of talent and moves that old Frankie has. So let's see. Again, this will be my modest interpretation from my chair. So you wave your ghost arms in the air, and you swivel your hips, and you go, boo! Boo! I don't really feel this one as much as the Frankenberry one. That one, you get your legs going, you get your arms going, and you... That is more entertaining. This one's just like that one weird kid at the Halloween dance who doesn't really have any moves, so he's just like... Boo! Boo! It doesn't resonate with me, as I stated previously. Regardless... Oh, I almost forgot. This is what the bottom of the box looks like. And this is what the top looks like. Alright then. And just a little bit of a spoiler for you all. If you saw what the calories were for Frankenberry, Booberry has the exact same calorie count. 160 and 200 with skim milk. So for this one, because the fancy footwork on the back wasn't quite as good as Frankenberry, I can't, in good conscience, I just can't give it as good of a score as I did Frankie over there. So Frankenstein got a 9, Frankenberry got a 9, but Booberry, I'm sorry, you get a 7. With that said though, and editing me, Oxleymations, I know you're the one editing these videos, don't you forget. 7 for him, and 9 for Frankenberry. On that note, put the 9 right here, and put the 7 right here. Yes, I know I did those backwards, I did that on purpose. So now then, let's crack open this box and give it a taste. Okay, now the seal has been broken. Now we open the bag, which again was far easier to do than with the Cap'n Crunch Halloween Crunch. And now let's get a whiff of old Booberry. Okay, right off the box. No, I was right off the bat. This one, it doesn't have the same nose feel as the other one does. Because when you open up the Frankenberry, you get that whiff of that strawberry flavor. It's aroma. I always get that wrong. But with Booberry, unfortunately, I'm smelling more of the box. That seems to be an unfortunate thing around here, is the boxes smell more fragrant than a cereal. But that's only one slight little tangent on the side. Let's pour this out. Again, as stated with the Frankenberry, I'm going to be eating a lot of cereal, so I'm trying my best to cut down on the portions. There we go. Now then, for the cereal itself, without milk, there's little standard Booberry ghost shape that, for some reason, all 3 boxes of cereal have. But let's give it a taste. It's got that Booberry flavor to it. Not too strong, just about right. And for the cereal itself, honest to God, that one, it's supposed to be Boo, but it looks more like Cherry from Pee-wee's Playhouse. Anyway, the Booberry marshmallow, with a little bit of that blueberry flavor. I don't know why Frankenberry has his head mixed in with the marshmallows for this one, but let's try it. A little more of that berry kick. That one actually tasted more like strawberries. Another one of what I believe to be a ghost, but it looks more like the Nike swoosh. Okay, that one tastes like your standard marshmallow. And finally, we have a bat, which I was holding upside down. Okay? They don't taste terrible. They taste like your standard, Swiss Miss hot cocoa marshmallows. Now then, we will add the elixir of milk to the blueberry cereal. I'm going to have to get a refill before I do the next one. But that was just enough. Now that the cereal has been revived with the hydrating power of the milk, let's have a taste. Okay, just like Frankenberry before it, the blueberry cereal actually gets a bit better when you add the milk to it. Because by itself, it's got kind of a plain blueberry flavor, but once you add that milk to it, it gets elevated ever so slightly. No. I'm not going to have a second spoonful. I was going to say second spite. Because I'm not spiteful of this cereal. But no, I'm not going to have a second bite of it. I'm going to rate it on that one spoonful alone. I'll say that for the blueberry cereal, who had the packaging score of 7, the cereal here, I'm going to give that a 7 as well. Because it's your standard blueberry, and the fact that they haven't really changed the flavor since when I was a child, at least, it deserves that 7 at the very least. So, editing me, Oxleymations, don't you forget those 2 numbers. And remember, for Frankenberry, the box, this one was the flavor. The flavor got a 7. The box got a 9. And if I'm wrong, feel free to correct me. Just put the correct numbers in my hands. You know what to do. So now then, as stated with Frankenberry, we're not going to mash the numbers together and go blah just yet, because I have something else in mind. So, with that one out of the way, we're going to set up, and then we're going to do Count Chocula cereals. And we're back. I know it's only been several seconds for y'all, but for me, it's been at least 3 minutes. So, with that said, let's start with the overview of Count Chocula's box. So, as stated with the other two, he has the 50th Anniversary Edition Monster Mash cereal official seal on the side here, surrounded by his marshmallows. He also has his classic appearance on the front of the box. His classic mug, as it were. Then, of course, we move on to the side, and just like with the other ones, we have the Count prepared to be destroyed and buried underneath flakes and chunks of his own cereal as they rain down upon him from up on high. And I'll be honest with you, the Count doesn't look like he really cares. It looks like he's partaken in some recreational drugs, we'll say. Or he's had a few. Then, of course, on the back of the box, we have the main attraction. The monsters have a new mash, just like has been written on the back of the other 2 boxes. And just to drive home that point, here's Frankenberry again. Now, we read the blurb. Meet the Count who really rocks with the chalk. Count Chocula tickles the ivories of his keyboard like someone who's been doing it for thousands of years. Well, because he has. On tour with Frankenberry and Blueberry and the rest of the gang, Count Chocula always requests the dark hotel room, please. Sorry, he always requests the darkest hotel room, please. I'm very sorry if you did not appreciate my Transylvanian accent. It's been a while since I've practiced it other than saying Frankenberry, Blueberry, and Count Chocula cereals. Ah, 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 ah. Anyways, and down here at the bottom, just like with the other two, we have the show off your fancy footwork. So for this one, the dance instructions include spread your wings, flap your arms, and close the cape. And let's be real here, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently, closing your cape is doing a freaking dab. Look at that. Look at that horror and tell me that isn't a dab. So, without further delay, we're going to try out those steps. It's a little bit cramped in these quarters, so I'll have to approximate these things. So spread your wings, flap your arms, and close your cape. Spread your arms, flap them, and close your cape. And one more time for those at home who just can't get enough of Oktoberfest doing the dab. Spread your wings, flap your arms, and close your cape. This is stupid. Okay. So there you are. I had more fun making fun of that than I had actually doing that. You know, I think I'm going to actually try and piece together a dance using the moves from the different boxes. Unfortunately, I forgot that my light sources don't like it when I put things as big as a cereal box in their way. So, I'm going to... No, I can't stack them up either. Dagnabbit. Okay. I'll figure this out. Aha! If I lay them out on the table before me, then they won't be in the light, and I can still look at the dance instructions. Okay, here we go. So, moving a couple other obstacles out of my path. Starting with Frankenberry. Stick your arms out straight. Stomp your right foot, then your left, and then shake like you're being shocked. And then wave your ghost arms in the air. Swivel your hips and stop and say, "Woo!" And then you spread your wings, and you flap your arms, and you close your cape. So, let's put it all together again, shall we? Boo! What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? Do you think that'll be the new dance craze? I hope not, because I want the dab to die. So now then, we shall put the boxes off to the side for those whom we've already consumed, and we shall crack open... I almost forgot. I was having so much fun being dumb like that I almost forgot the calorie count. Let's see if it's any different because this is a chocolate cereal, while the other two are berry cereals. Oh my goodness, it is! Count Chocula has fewer calories than Frankenberry or Blueberry. How is this possible? Count Chocula has 140 calories before skim milk. And then with a half cup of skim milk, it's 180. I never thought I would see the day, ladies and gentlemen. Who knew that chocolate was better for you than berries? At least in cereal form. So, real quick, we will give the rating for the outside of the box, because I was skipping way ahead of myself. For the box, I'm also going to give this a 9, like with Frankenberry. And it's not because I'm biased, it's just because Count Chocula is the cereal that has kept the other two hanging on for the last 30 years. On that note, I'm going to go ahead and put my hand up here. 30. No, not 30. Why in the hell would I give that a 30? That's a 9. And now we crack open the box and we get a taste, a whiff of the aroma within. Okay, here we go. The bag has been opened, and so a little underwhelming. It's got a bit more fragrance to it than blueberry. You can actually smell the chocolate more than you can smell the cardboard, but only just. Okay, so on that note, let's grab our handy dandy cereal containing device and we add the cereal. There we go. And we close up the bag as per usual. I can assure you, rolling down the bag for minutes at a time does not guarantee that it's going to be any more sealed than just giving it a simple roll down like that. Now then, as per with the other two, here's the little cereal bat, which is actually just the standard blueberry ghost shape. Nice and rich and chocolatey. And then we have a ghost that actually looks like a freaking ghost. Also nice and chocolatey. And then, I'm not sure what this is supposed to be. Lightning bolt, maybe? But it's chocolate, so. Then we have the little bats. Batty, batty, bat, batty, batty, bat, batty, batty, bat, 2, 3, 4. Also good. And then we have the chocolatey swirled ghost. I think. On the side of the box it looks like a ghost, but right here in my hand it's hard to tell. Yes, not a bad marshmallow in the bunch. So next, the obvious step, we add the milk. Hold that up so you all can see. There we are, just enough. Okay. Mix around the cereal to get the milk coverage that we so desire. Get a couple of marshmallows on there. There you go. And here we go. Very nice and rich and chocolatey. If I had to compare this to another cereal, I honestly can't really think of one. Cocoa Puff. Yes, Cocoa Puffs. That is the only comparable one that comes to mind. Okay. So, on that note, I would have to say, for my own personal review, sorry, my outfit is getting a bit disheveled from all this moving around. For my own personal opinion on the Count Chocula cereal, I would give this an 8. Because I love chocolate cereals, but the score has been dampered ever so slightly because, well, I've been eating a lot of cereal. So, with that said, Count Chocula gets the wrong hand, but we'll start with the box score, which I believe was a 9, the same as Frankenberry, and if I'm wrong, put the correct number in there regardless. And the cereal gets that 7 that I just mentioned. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be doing something a bit different. So, you all were expecting me to throw the scores for the Frankenberry, Blueberry, and Count Chocula cereals in at this point, were you? Well, you're wrong. I've got something else up my sleeve. Yes, you see, as you may have noticed, that they've been on the back of these boxes alluding to Monster Mash. They did in fact release a Monster Mash cereal to coincide with its 50th anniversary. But yours ghoulie still has yet to find a box of the stuff. So today we're gonna make some of our own. Our closest approximation from images that I've been able to find on the old internet. So, pardon me for just a moment, I've got to set up again, and then we're going to make ourselves our own homebrew box of Monster Mash cereal. Be right back. Welcome back. So, with today's video, we're going to be doing a little bit of an experiment, if it wasn't already obvious by what I was alluding to previously. So you've already seen that we have taken a taste of Frankenberry. Huh? Oh, yes, I suppose you're right. This particular ensemble does look a little silly with the top hat, doesn't it? By the way, does anyone else feel a draft? Anyways, we've already taken a look at the Frankenberry cereal. We've already tasted the boo berries. And we sank our fangs into some Count Chocula. So now, as stated previously, since they have released a Monster Mash cereal, which is the three of these cereals combined, along with elements from a couple of long forgotten and long discontinued cereals known as Fruit Brute and Yummy Mummy, we're going to be making our closest approximation of this Monster Mash cereal. Because I can't find the stuff in stores. I've been looking for weeks. I've checked since before the summer ended because there were people posting from across the states that there was the Monster Mash cereal already in production. Well, today we're going to take our handy dandy bowl and we're going to take elements from all three of the monster cereals we've already tasted. So without further ado, without beating around the bush any further, cup of Frankenberry, eye of Wooberry, chocolate of Chocula. By these powers combined, we shall have our Monster Mash, so that you all can get a look at it. Look at it! Look at it! I want all of you to look at it! Now, I will be honest with you all, ladies and gentlemen, boys, ghouls, and all other configurations of being, I'm not sure how well this is going to work. Because, I mean, I've heard that berries and chocolate go fairly well together, like those chocolate-dipped strawberries and those cherry cordial things that you get around Christmas. So, I'm hoping this will be good. So, first impressions, I'm just going to get a spoonful of everything. At least as close to a spoonful of everything as I can manage. Get a little more Frankenberry on there. Come on, Boo Berry. So that's what they all look like mixed together with a little better lighting. And so, without milk, let's give it a taste. Okay, I can honestly say that I don't hate it. It's not the best flavor combination I've ever had, but it's far from the worst. All signs point to this one for the worst one. And next we try it with milk and see if that elevates the flavors or detracts from them. Let's finish off that glass of milk. So we mix it all together. Bippity boppity boo, bippity boppity boo. We put them all together, and what have you got? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else, or should I say everything else, I do actually quite enjoy that. It wasn't as good as it is with the milk, because when it was dry it was a little harder to pick out the different flavors. But with the milk they all mesh and blend together in pretty good harmony. So I have to say, ladies and gentlemen, that if you're unable to get yourself a box of the actual Monster Mash cereal, which Oxleymations, editing yourself, throw a picture of that box right about here. It looks pretty good, doesn't it? But if you're unable to find yourself a box of that stuff, this is a good alternative, in my opinion. So with that said, ladies, gentlemen, boils, ghouls, and all other macabre manner of being, if you like what you've seen here today... Oh, wait. Ooh, see? I forgot to do a thing. So, because it's been so long and I've already forgotten the scores for the cereals themselves, Oxleymations, Mr. Editing, sir. Feel free to put the totals for all three boxes on the screen above my arms, right here. And those are your scores for the different boxes. And now, let's take all three scores and mash them together for the Monster Mash score of that. Personally, I think that is a great score for all three cereals combined. And with that said, ladies, gentlemen, boys, ghouls, and all other macabre manner of being, if you like what you've seen here today, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that little bell icon to be notified of future uploads once you are subscribed. You'll be glad you did. And feel free to share these videos with your friends if you think they'll like them. And if you're not sure, share it anyway. You could be surprised. And with all of that, holiday hoobie wuddy out of the way, this is your old pal Oxtoberfest saying, Cowabunga, and we'll see you in the next episode. Later.